Welcome everybody to another episode of Fair Fitful Podcast. I'm Brian Ferino. Joined by me is a full panel today as we preview the 49ers versus Dolphins game tomorrow. And we got Lefty, my co-host, Christian. We got special guest Bashar from 49er Minded.
Yo,
what's going on, Bashar? We got our boy Niner Gang Podcast, Deon Johnson himself. We got 49er Media on Anshul. What's going on?
What's up?
And we got the one and only Beto, Niner Sickness.
hola mi raza.
What's happening? What's going on, everybody? How's everybody?
Hey, so
doing?
Beto, how did you like Bashar's his invitation of you?
Yeah, he was pretty good, bro. He's like,
You did good? Okay.
Aaron still didn't have a clue until he's like, "This is Bashar." Oh, that's right.
I was up all hours of the night trying to practice for that.
That's dope, man. That's dope. I love it.
All right. Let's get right into it, guys.
That's right, Tommy Huxley. We're here with the bullshit.
Tommy Huxley.
All right.
Well, we all know Mr.
Joey.
Joey's gonna.
Oh, yeah, I'm waiting for him to drop some comments.
All right, guys. Let's get right into it. What are your expectations for tomorrow's game, and how do we pull off a dub against a pretty decent Miami Dolphins team?
We'll start with Christian. Yeah, we'll start with Christian. Just go around. Good work.
Pass rush. You're gonna have to hit two a lot. Don't let the playmakers for the Dolphins touch the ball much. I think it's all going to be pass rush, especially with Armstead coming back too. We're gonna and then stopping the run and pass rush is how we're going to beat them. But the offense has got to be able to score some points too. Scoring 13 points against this team ain't going to get it done. Defense is only going to hold for so much. This offense is way better than the Saints offense. So we're definitely going to have to put on some points and then hope that the pass rush can get home better than they did against the Saints with only one sack. So we're going to have to see the best, like elite pass rush in this game. The run defense is going to have to be good like it's been all season. And then offense has to really put up some points. That's all I got. I didn't have really much to say.
Before I move on to Bashar, just real quick, if you guys are watching on Twitter, we cannot see your comments, so go over to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/FairFitfulPodcast49, or you can go over to Bashar 49er Media or Deon's page as well, so we can see your comments. All right, Bashar, go ahead, man.
So yeah, my channel's 49er Minded. He said Bashar, but he mentioned 49er Minded. So threw that in there really quick. Great to be on here with you guys. Usually these hours of the day on the weekend, not really that as pumped up, but I'm just happy to be on here. I love the camaraderie that we have, and excited about tomorrow's game against the Miami Dolphins. Their fan base talks a lot of smack. I haven't been on Spaces in a long time, and I jumped on a space yesterday. It was a bunch of Dolphins fans doing a lot of this, flapping the gums, flapping the jaws, and we got to be ready to punch them in the mouth. We're at home. I mean, I understand there's probably going to be some rain early in the morning, not necessarily during the game, but it might rain light during the game. So what do we got to do? Establish the run game. Now, I know CMC's a little banged up, but hey, we got some guys to help him out. It sucks that we lost Mitchell. It truly does. But I still like what we see in Mason. Mason looked really nice in the last game. Hopefully we get to see some burn from TDP. He likes to smash people and hurt people when he's running the ball. So establish that part of the game. Get George Kittle involved, because this Miami Dolphins team does not stop tight ends. Let's do this. And obviously defense with Armstead back. Let's see what we can do, man. I'm hyped.
For sure. All right, Deon, go ahead, man.
So for me, I echo the sentiments of Christian and Bashar, man. It's just basically very simple. You got to do what you got to do. Damn, bro. His mic doesn't sound bad. Nothing wrong with his mic. Tommy's be over here.
I heard it was
He's being
popping.
full go with the bullshit, man. I'd love to see him and Joey go back and forth in the comments.
Well, you know
got me
what,
all-
Tommy? Your comment sounds like Ambry Thomas. So.
Do I sound okay though? Real talk. Do I? Am I
No,
okay,
bro, you
or-
fine. Man, don't pay attention. Tommy, I don't know. Maybe then again, you have to remember Tommy is a musician, so he can probably hear certain things that we cannot hear, and that's just being real and being honest. But for us, you sound perfectly fine. For me, once again, I echo. But go ahead, Bashar. Do a little mic check real quick. Okay, he probably drop out, come back in. He'd be all right.
My check.
But for me, once again, I echo Christian and Bashar's sentiments. Just basically, this game is going to be a situation of shutting down Tua and shutting down Tua, Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill. Those are the ones that you're going to have to stop, because those are going to be the guys that are going to do things. I said it earlier on my show. If you look at it, this is very simple. When you take a look at the receiving drop-off after Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, it is insanity. It's almost 700 yards. So the next leading receiver is fucking Trent Sherfield. So that tells you they do nothing but throw to Waddle or Hill. If it ain't Hill, it's Waddle. You know, you want to have some fun with it, go to Ace Ventura, Finkel and Einhorn, Einhorn and Finkel, Finkel and Einhorn, Einhorn and Finkel. That's basically how they move. It's Hill or Waddle, whatever you feel is it's a pick your poison type deal. Me personally, they don't have a run game. They have our previous runners, Jefferson Jr. and Mostert. We already know exactly how to stop them. But other than that, man, it kind of is what it is. I don't know I don't know what's going on with Christian. He over here,
Dude,
He's
you're
laughing.
I don't know if anybody else got how great your reference just was.
Oh yes. Everybody kind of.
That's the best
It
one.
was a little late, but it's all good.
Best one. That's the best one you had. I caught it right away, dude. That's why I'm laughing, dude.
Yeah, Aaron, what's going on, man? You know what I'm saying?
Aaron?
I got to get up with Aaron. I got to get Aaron on my show, man.
We gotta get him on here.
He's a cool dude, man. He's a real cool dude.
Yeah, we do.
The voice of Ray Romano.
But when it comes to yes, very much so. I'm not gonna lie, he does sound a little bit like Ray Romano. Block from Rudy Chow? What?
Damn.
I don't know. I guess. Either way, man, defense just has to be stout. We have to make sure that we bracket those two guys, because if we don't, we're going to pay for it. We do not have the speed to keep up with Tyreek Hill and or Jalen Waddle. The two fastest guys we got on our squad are named Tarvarius Moore and Samuel Womack Jr., or should I say the third. And, they don't have – that Kermit – no, Kermit belongs to Patrick Mahomes. Aaron, that's not you. Patrick Mahomes owns Kermit the Frog. That's just who the fuck he is. Even Tyreek Hill said that while he was even still on the same team.
He walks like he has a hand up his ass, so it's perfect.
I mean, hey, see, look, another movie reference. If I want you to talk, shove my hand up your ass like a puppet and make your mouth move like this. See, you got to catch the movie references. But on to Beto. Mr. Niner Sickness, how do you feel about this game? What do we need to do to win?
Damn, so you're gonna just skip me in line.
Well, he messed with the order, man. He was like one, and then I don't know, man. Just go ahead, Beto. Don't worry. Media will be okay. We'll give him a hug if he needs one.
He always needs a hug, dude.
None from any of you.
He needs a tissue.
I'm gonna hug his ass with an ASU jersey on purposely. That's what I'm gonna do.
So I think what the Niners need to do, honestly, in the secondary, I need both safeties to play really, really good to cover the middle. I need Gibson and I need Hufanga to really take care of that middle where Tyreek Hill likes to run. And that pass rush, I mean, it's just, you guys already said it, that pass rush, even if we don't sack the quarterback, we got to get in his face. He needs to feel the presence of Bosa. And if Armstead is back and he looks like he is, he needs to just cave that middle in and bring in that middle and force Tua to go to the outside towards Bosa. And if we can contain or disrupt Tua's timing, make sure he doesn't make his reads correctly and cover that middle, we should be in good, solid place. And we got to score. Like Christian said earlier, 13 points against the Dolphins is not going to cut it. We're going to have to score at least 21, to at least compete with those guys. But I think this defense is up to the test. I think this defense will come and rock, and hopefully we can cover that middle. But everything said, my two safeties need to play their A game. If they do that, we should be fine.
Gibson and Hufanga.
Yes, sir. I love it. And then the other thing, really quick, before you go, media, if we really want to deal with the speed, we do have the option of the 3 safety look. We can throw Tarvarius in there and just tell him your job specifically is to catch Waddle or Hill if they get past that front, that first line of defense. If they get there, your job is to stick with them because you have the speed.
Yes,
That's
sir.
a good that's a way. That's how you combat certain things like that. It's the simplest thing. I don't want you to do shit, but find the motherfucker who got past us. Stick with them.
So
do what they do. That would make more sense. But go ahead,
apparently,
Christian.
Apparently, Tua is the only quarterback with more attempts without an interception than Jimmy right now.
Hey, I'm not knocking it. Look, the dude is for as long as his throwing motion is, along with the time that the ball stays in the air, because he'll I don't know, man. I've seen his throws, and it looks like that motherfucker just hangs there. It's more than enough time for TV to get there.
So,
let me shut the fuck up. I gotta let media go because I don't want him skipped, and then he
No
gonna be mad.
llores, media. No llores.
I was just
I'm
kidding.
sure.
I was just going to.
I
So Tua has 174 attempts without an interception. Jimmy's at 137. So one of them's going to throw an interception in the game tomorrow. So
Let's pray to God it's Tua because Jimmy already threw one last game
I
and just
know.
got called back.
Yeah.
All right, media. Let's hear what you got to say.
Yeah. So I think the key things in this game is getting to a pressure because I don't believe the Dolphins have really faced all that great defenses except for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who I believe only gave up 17 points. So I'm seeing that. I want to see the defense get after Tua, make him uncomfortable. He might not have some offensive linemen playing too, so let's eat up their backups. Nick Bosa probably gonna have a field day, hopefully. Rack up a couple of sacks. Just make Tua uncomfortable. The biggest thing is I'm trying to see is, did the Niners really learn from that Chiefs game? Because I feel like it's similar in some ways, with the explosiveness with the Dolphins, the speed the Dolphins have. So can the Niners learn from that and just have a great defensive game plan, and then offense, they got to get back to just scoring because they've been very inconsistent, up and down. They should be scoring more points. The Dolphins aren't great, in the passing defense, even though that they have some big names there, especially in the secondary. So I think the Niners could be passing the ball a little more, but also depends on the weather because I know it's going to be raining there as well. Miami's top 10 in stopping the run, so the Niners might not be able to get the run game going, and then the Dolphins aren't great at running the ball on offense, so I'm not worried about the Niners defense in that way because I think the Niners defense will continue to just eat up running backs, and let's see some fumbles. I'm liking this defense starting to get turnovers. I've been saying it all along, like from what we've seen in training camp, there was always turnovers in camp, so I want to continue to see that on the field against opposing teams.
So I just want to address how you said you brought up the Chiefs. I would say, yeah, this is probably the best offense we faced since the Chiefs, but I wouldn't compare the two at all because we were at our most beat up on defense when we played the Chiefs. Like all the injuries came right at that time we played the Chiefs. We had half the defense missing that game. So, and then even the guy, with Mooney in, he was injured. So we were so beat up on defense. It's really hard to compare playing the Chiefs to any other offense we faced this year because I don't think we'll face anybody else that beat up as we were that week.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be totally two different teams. I think I say Miami is one of the better AFC teams as well, even though I feel like they haven't really played anybody good.
I think I think they're legit, dude. Like
You think
people
so?
are saying, dude, there's been a lot of talk in the media about this being a possible Super Bowl preview.
Okay.
I mean, it's a lot. It's that's kind of a long
lot.
shot,
Yeah.
really. But I still like it could be both these teams have could make it to the Super Bowl. They're good enough.
Yeah. So my next thing I want to bring up is I shared something on Twitter earlier in the week, and a lot of people are commenting on it, retweeting it, and liking it and everything. And it was on. I know you guys don't like ESPN and all that stuff, but I thought it was a pretty good take from Stephen A. So I'm gonna go ahead and share it real fast, and then get your guys' thoughts on it real quick. Give me a sec. Bashar, you want to go through the comments while I get it up?
Oh yeah, let's see who's in the chat. We got
Kenny. Get it up.
Kenny says yo. We got who else we got here? Obviously Tommy Huxley's always here. 49 throwbacks is plus Eric Armstead is back. Always good to have him. Panama Queen, what is up? She's repping all the way over in Jersey. So we always appreciate her.
We can't do the song Panama. That's for real.
Yeah, I can't hit those high notes.
Yeah, we biting hard if we do that. Oh, he's talking to Dan Orlovsky. Oh, this is
dude. Hey, I love Dan though. He has some crazy takes, but he's
once in a while.
He's a great guy. He's a great
Not
guy.
all the
I like
time.
Dan.
Let's see.
All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
All right.
Orlovsky. We shall see. There's a first time for everything, my brother. And let me tell you something. This San Francisco 49ers defense, number 1 in points allowed.
I love them.
Number 1 in yards allowed. Number 1 against the run. Top 11 against the pass. You know me. It's about Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and how sensational they can be and how they can get open against anybody. But we also got to pay attention. And let me be very serious when I say this. I'm not wishing this. I'm not wishing any harm on Tua Tagovailoa whatsoever. Zero. I want him healthy, ready to go, and I want his career to continue to flourish. San Francisco's physical. And physicality might be Tua's Achilles heel. Now, we saw what happened against Cincinnati. Now, last week, it was more the leg than anything, the way he was taken down and his body bent backward. I was just happy to see him get up. But San Francisco is going to go after him because with him being accurate, with him being a nice deep ball thrower, with him having weapons like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle to dip and dunk to, and they can do the rest and what have you, with him having those capabilities available to him, the one way you go after him is to be as physical with him as you possibly can get away with. Okay? And San Francisco is going to be that team. Offensively, listen, they got Kittles, they got McCaffrey, they got Debo, they've got weapons, and we know that. But I think that this game is going to be decided in the trenches. They're going to go after Tua. And we're going to see what happens and whether or not he can withstand the heat that they're about to bring his way, because they consider him relatively miniature and, dare I say, fragile. And as a result of that, that's what they're going to try to do to him, because that's what I would do if I got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle to worry about. That's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to put a hat on him as often as I could possibly get away with if I'm the San Francisco 49ers. And they have the capability, more so than almost any other team in the National Football League, to do just that.
All right. So let's get your thoughts on what Stephen A. said. Bashar, go first. What do you think? What do you think?
I mean, he is right about the whole physicality part with Tua. I mean, we're the strongest defense that they've yet to face. So yeah, I mean, then we got crazy guys like, freaking Greenlaw trying to take people's heads off. So who knows? So it's gonna be rough for Tua. It ain't gonna be easy for him. And on top of that, we've been saying this. People have already been throwing this out there. And Austin Jackson looks like he's not gonna play. They're trying to act like Teron Armstead, their left tackle. He's be on the Saints. Like he's gonna play. The guy's got a torn pec. A torn pec. I said it. Like, I mean, you're doing this the whole time. We're on offensive line. I don't understand how he's going to be able to play, especially against Bosa. As far as Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, yeah, it's a tough test for the secondary. I get it. I love Mooney Ward, but I wish we still had Mosley. But regardless, we still have found ways to circumvent that. I'm not saying that we have the greatest secondary on planet Earth, but statistically wise, go ahead and look at the numbers. I mean, we're still like a number 7 pass defense, and we still have the overall defense. So we find ways to get it done, and it's going to be a test, though. Definitely going to be as much of a test offensively as probably what we face. Well, I mean, obviously Mahomes is better than Tua, but it's going to be a similar type of effect, though, in terms of playing like a strong, high-powered offense like we did when we played KC. So we'll see, man.
All right, I'm gonna flip-flop it real fast, and I'm gonna go ahead and go to Deon.
I mean, it's not like what he's saying isn't true. It all makes sense. And yes, the key to the game plan is if you do take Tua and you make this a physical game, and that line is not able to hold up against our defensive line, if we can, with Armstead being back, if he's really, truthfully, fully healthy, he can be a full go. He can be a force up that gut. And if we've got, if we got Bosa coming off the edge, Ebicom coming off the edge, Drake Jackson coming off that edge, even every now and then Kerry Hyder coming off that edge. If we have those guys coming off that edge, making his life a living hell, the more Tua gets hit, the more fragile he is. And, it's not that we're trying to injure him, but here's a simple stat. When Tua starts and finishes a game, the Dolphins don't lose. Sorry, we going to need Teddy B in by at least the second quarter at a minimum. Because if that happens, then we don't have to worry about, that's one small statistic that we knocked out, along with the fact that our defense can now just feast on him. And it makes it harder. I know that it's never going to be a walk in the park against Hill and Waddle because they are very dynamic receivers and you must respect them. But at the end of the day, it's so much simpler when you don't have that same quarterback throwing to him because the continuity and the communication is a little bit off.
See, but I don't want the Dolphins to not have Tua. Tua needs to be in and play the whole game, and we need to just straight out beat him. Because this is, if we want to see how we can contend with the top teams and be able to win a fucking Super Bowl, we need to beat the Dolphins outright with their best guys on the field. So I get what you mean. Like, if we get Tua out, I want to beat them at 100% because then I'll actually feel good about our chances to make a deep run in the playoffs. If we struggle against the Dolphins, then I'm going to be worried about how well we're going to make it in the playoffs because of all the teams left, this is the best team we're going to face. This is the team that could make it to the Super Bowl out of the AFC. We have to beat them at 100%. And if we don't, then that kind of tells us where we stand, especially at home. If we can't beat them at home, then it tells us where we stand Super Bowl wise. Like we probably don't match up with the other teams if we can't beat them. Or at least make it close. If it comes down to like something close, then okay, we can. But this game's what's going to tell us whether or not we can match up with the other good teams in the NFL this year.
Yeah. Media, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I think we're going to learn a lot about the coaches too, because of course it's the teacher versus the student matchup, right? With Kyle Shanahan and Mike McDaniel. So I think we're going to learn a whole lot about Kyle Shanahan, how he coaches this game versus Mike McDaniels. He's done pretty good versus. Yeah, what did I? Oh, okay.
Everybody's pluralizing everything. Pluralizing Kittle, pluralizing McDaniel.
And so Kyle Shanahan's been pretty successful, versus some of his assistants, when it comes to playing versus them. So that's something big. And then making Tua, like I keep saying, uncomfortable, knocking him out, getting to him, making him struggle. That's the big thing. And then offensively, I think just have to execute that. That's the biggest thing.
All right. Beto?
Yeah, man, you just got harassed Tua. I mean, you got to hit him so hard his mama feels it. You know what I mean? And you just got to disrupt his timing, make sure he doesn't go through his progressions. I know it's easier said than done, but with Armstead, and I think Armstead might be in a pitch count, but I think as the game goes on, depending on how he feels, having that big body in the middle, man, like Deon said earlier, caving in the middle, putting pressure, forcing Tua on the outside. Tua doesn't have a big arm, man. I mean, I know he, like Deon said earlier, he only throws to two receivers. That's all he has. And Shavarius Ward takes away one of those. I really need Lenore to step up. Lenore really needs to have a good game. Lenore cannot afford to screw up, man, because Shavarius Ward will be on covering one. The other one is a good receiver as well. So do I wish we would have had Emmanuel Mosley in this game? Most definitely. I would have been more comfortable knowing that both of those receivers will be covered. But Lenore has to step up. Lenore has to step up. And offensively, the Niners have to play smart football, no stupid penalties. You can't get no first downs called back because of Mike McClinchy holding outside type of penalties.
Don't count on that not to happen.
Yeah, they have to play smart, especially Mike McClinchy, man. And we'll see. Chubbs is going to be on his side, just chopping his lips, going against Mike. So hopefully Mike can hold his own. So the two guys that need to hold his own is Mike McClinchy on offense and Lenore on defense. If those guys can play semi-good, we should be in business.
And I want to add this, because as a unit, Miami Dolphins do not rack up sacks. I know they got Chubb in the mix now, but they're like third to last in getting sacks against the quarterback. And we're at the top 5 offensive line in pass blocking.
Our offense needs to get we just need to get the ball out fast. I'd like to see let's get the ball out fast, especially, if they struggle, like I said, against tight ends, get the ball out fast.
I don't think Deebo's going to play tomorrow, right?
Probably not.
But
I like the idea. Like, again, I like to get Jimmy out of the pocket, get him running a little bit against this defense. It's probably I always say that and it never happens.
That ain't happening.
Yeah, that's when he's at his best. So I don't see why it's not put more into the offense. But every time we do have a play where he's out moving around, he makes a really good play. So
yeah. So
and then I was going to say, I just want to what I think is, even when he has a pitch count probably to start the game, I feel like the biggest factor on defense is going to be Armstead, because with a lot of the pressure is going to come from the inside. Like, I know that their tackles are hurt, but I think they're going to give so much attention to the ends because their tackles are hurt that Armstead's going to be the one getting the pressure up the middle onto a.
Very good point there, Christian.
Hey, so real quick, going over the injury report. So Mitchell's out. Deebo Samuel is questionable. Burford's questionable. Trent Williams is questionable with his back.
I think Trent will play, though.
I think so, too.
Yeah, he will. He said he's going to play tomorrow. He's just got to be very mindful, man. Back spasms are a motherfucker. I can tell you that, honestly, because I know I have them.
Isn't that muscle, just the muscle flex, like
your muscle is contracting due to
muscle spasms are terrible.
Yeah, those spasms are horrible, bro. And believe me, it's not a fun time. I can tell you, it's a situation where you could be walking, bro, and that shit'll stop you dead in your fucking tracks.
Really?
Yes, sir. I get them a lot,
bro. When I tell you, like, moving, you're locked up.
Yeah.
Like, I literally, the number one thing, if you've never seen it, you can look it up on YouTube. This type in Charles Barkley back spasm. Charles Barkley was playing for the Suns. He went up for a dunk in the middle of jumping for that dunk.
Good point, Deon.
He had a back spasm. Literally had to come down. Luckily, he landed properly, and he just threw it for a layup.
Yep.
And then walked off and then like a couple seconds later, he walked off the court. Yes. It will lock you up in mid-stride. Does not matter what you're doing. And a back spasm for an offensive lineman, especially somebody that goddamn big.
Yeah.
It is a hard thing to do. Me personally, if it's me, if I feel better by the next day, then I'm good. And the weird thing is, it depends on the frequency of those spasms.
Yeah.
How often it happens.
Does this come with age, or is it?
No, this comes with trauma to the body.
Oh, okay.
You have to remember there's certain things that happen that you don't know. Like me, for instance, like a jackass, like we all do as kids, you flip all over shit, you jump off all kinds of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I flipped, literally landed the small of my back on the edge of a desk and was paralyzed from the waist down for 3 hours.
Oh.
They told my mama I wasn't going to walk. They told her get ready for a wheelchair, all kinds of shit. And, this is how I know God is real. My mom was not with it. She brought everybody and their mother from the church. She got them prayer warriors. They prayed, and after that third hour, I literally started to move my big toe. And that I remember that doctor saying, "This is why I go to church, because how is it that all of these people can come in here and pray for you, and now you good? When I looked at the damage you did, you should not be able to do this."
Wow.
So
It's funny you say that, Deon, because like I told you in the past, I told everybody I was
Yeah.
paralyzed for 10 years from my waist down. I couldn't move anything from my waist down for 10 years, and I was in that wheelchair. My
Mhm.
spine
Oh,
is
shit.
still disconnected, bro. So I shouldn't be walking. So when it comes to back spasms or pinched nerves, sciatic
Yeah,
nerves,
man.
what people call, it's no joke.
Yeah, it's really painful, but I can tell you this, man. I'm up, I'm moving, and even after
Good
that
for
back
you, bro.
spasm, even after that injury that I had, I still have problems to this day. I don't do deadlifts. Deadlifts or it does nothing but irritate the shit out of that, and I ain't got time to be walking around. Like I literally was walking slow one day, and my wife was like, "Babe, what is wrong? Why are you walking like an old man?" I'm like, "Cause I'm old. God, I'm 41. Leave me the fuck alone." And then she just looked at me, and I was like, "No, I'm kidding. It's just my back."
41, Deon, you're a
My
baby.
neck and
bro.
my back.
Exactly, my neck and my back. I want 100,000.
Pussy and your crack.
The question
no,
between Williams tomorrow is not necessarily will he play, it's will he
Good
stay in
deal,
the game for the
Yes,
skin of
they
the game.
make now. If
Yeah.
anything, that means that we're gonna have somebody up. They're gonna rotate things back. Let's see. Ready Daytona says, "I just think back to our great grandfathers. They worked all day and then were football players and baseball players. Spent 7 days a week, played with injuries, less pads, and yes, the people that played well before us did not have that. When football started, it was leather fucking helmets. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. I kid you not. It's not until probably about a little past the 2010s where we really started to come in with the defenseless receiver penalties, and the quarterback is now damn near you just need to put a flag on his ass because if you touch him, it gives you a 15-yard penalty.
Yep.
All those things just started coming into play. But yes, Randy is so
See,
correct on that.
I agree, but the toughest motherfucker I ever seen, and still I don't think
Ronnie
I'll ever
Lott?
see. No, I'm talking like my era is Phillip Rivers. That is the toughest motherfucker
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I've
Phillip-
ever seen. He
Phillip
played
shot.
a whole playoff game with a torn ACL. I don't think we'll ever see any player play
Phillips-
with a
yeah,
play
yeah,
with a torn
Phillips-
ACL
Phillips
ever
is
again.
Owens had a
When you
broken
get
leg
your,
in the
when you
Super Bowl.
get your finger amputated
Oh,
to go back
Owens.
in the game, you cut your finger off just to get back in the
No,
game.
I know
You gotta
Ronnie
get
Lott's
fit.
one of the toughest. He's one of the toughest motherfuckers
Either
in
tough
sport
as a
ever.
pendejo, pero one of those
Dude,
two.
yeah, but a quarterback tearing his ACL and playing a whole playoff game is fucking
Yeah,
insanity.
Rivers
to
has a
me.
lot of heart.
Man,
He
that's
does.
crazy.
He has a lot of heart. You got to respect that. But
Let's
what we got next on tap?
Hey, Matthew
Vito?
Stafford, I don't like him on the Rams, but that dude also plays with a lot of pain.
Yes.
Yeah, he
So,
does. He's a tough son of a bitch too.
before we move on, let's go ahead and take a break real quick and hand it over to Zach for
Órale, Zach.
my bookie.
Zach.
All right, take it away, Zach.
What's going on, guys? Zach here from 49ers Hive, and I just wanted to take a second to thank today's sponsor, my bookie. You know football, and you pick winners every single weekend, so why not get paid for them at my bookie? You could bet single game spreads, money lines, or parlay multiple together to increase your payouts. The feeling on Sunday when a 3, 4, 5, 6 game parlay hits is unmatched. There are low contest entry fees and over $500,000 to be won. So make it so you don't have to be a pro gambler to have some fun. Getting started is super simple. All you got to do is go to mybookie.ag and use our promo code HIVE, as in 49ers Hive, on your first deposit to secure a double deposit bonus. You deposit $50, they'll match you $50. You deposit $100, they'll match you $100, all the way up to $1,000. Take advantage of our double deposit bonus. It's right here on the screen. mybookie.ag, promo code HIVE, as in 49ers Hive. Take advantage now, guys, and make this your winning season exclusively at MyBookie.
All right, thank you, Zach.
Thank
All right, so to continue on, my next question for you guys is, what is the one thing you are worried about for offense and then defense? Beto, we'll start with you first.
Ask that question again for me real quick.
What is the one thing that you are worried about going into tomorrow's game on offense and defense?
On offense, just Jimmy screwing it up, turning the ball over, not getting the ball out quicker than he normally does, or holding on to the ball. Worries me on offense. And defensively is just Lenore, honestly, covering one of those receivers. I know our linebackers will take care of their business. I know our front four will do the thing. Chevalier's War might not always win all each and every play, but he's going to have his just Lenore. Can Lenore sustain and keep up with the receiver and not cause any type of a PI on a long throw? If he can play good, we should be in business. But that's what worries me is Lenore on defense.
All right, media, go ahead next.
On offense, I guess what worries me the most is just executing and being able to get into the end zone, because I feel like the Niners have been able to get down in the field at times, but for some reason, whatever, like they just aren't able to get into the end zone. And something I was wondering is like, is it maybe that Kyle Shanahan doesn't know what like trust as much? Because I know recently it kind of came out there, like Jimmy Garoppolo said that him and Kyle are really starting to, like trust one another once again. It's been like 6 seasons, so it's something I'm kind of wondering within the red zone. So definitely, I'm worried about if the Niners will get into the end zone enough times on offense. And then on defense, Beto also said it. It's Diamador Lenore. He's young. He showed some good flashes, last year, but he's going up against a really big test in, Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle.
So before we move on, Throwback just said that the Niners have placed Elijah Mitchell on the injury reserve list for Matt Miyoko.
Yeah, we anticipated that.
Well, that tells us they're not bringing back.
Yeah, you might as well
Lance
just shut him down. Shut him down for the season. You don't really need him. Bashar, what are your thoughts, sir? And don't keep adjusting your mic, man. Just stop letting Tommy fuck with you. You're fine.
I hope it sounds.
I mean, it's been.
I hope it's
it's
like
not
it's
in
Ain't nothing wrong.
To be fair,
Mike, Tommy,
it was
Tommy is
cracking.
on his bullshit.
It was
think with
cracking a little bit
right now. It's cracking.
earlier.
No, it's
You know
good
what?
now.
Because I keep going back and forth to do that soundboard program, and it channels the mics. I deleted that, and I'm doing this just a regular mic now by
There
itself.
you go.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, yeah, great point, Beto, about Diamador Lenore. I like the kid, but he did struggle against Olave last week against the Saints, and he's had his little ups and downs this year. Not that he's bad or he's a terrible player or anything like that, because I still like him a lot. But it was funny though, during the game, I was texting some of my friends in the 49er chat group, and I was just making a little joke like, "Oh man, when I hear that name Olave, I just think it's like a French word for the French word for waffle or something like that." and then this one dude responded right away and goes, Diamador, he said, Lenore sounds like a French word for sorry ass motherfucker. So,
Damn. Shots fired.
Yeah, so I was like, damn, man, this guy's a short fuse when it comes to players. I don't
I'm
think he's
fine
sorry
with that, though.
I don't think about Diamador, but we do need him to step up. I'd love to see some Womack out there. Love to see him in the mix. Love to see him step up. Again, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about the Dolphins pass rush at all, because they don't really do much against other teams. But like Beto said, it's that whole Jimmy G factor where he just sometimes you'll see him, the line will give him time to throw, and he's just holding on to the ball forever, or he gets happy feet, or he gets jittery, or all that bad stuff that Jimmy does, where he throws the ball late to people, or throws the ball way too high, or throws the ball slow, or stares receivers down, short little passes. Like those dink and dunk passes got to be like boom, 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 not like this. You're throwing it late and getting your receiver hurt. So we need the good Jimmy, obviously. We don't need the bad Jimmy. And getting the run game going is very, very important for our offense as usual, but especially more so now that Mitchell's gone. So again, I mentioned earlier TDP and Jordan Mason, those guys got to step up and help out CMC. And I wouldn't mind seeing CMC get some nice little passing receptions, and obviously we got to get Kittle involved. They don't stop tight ends. So.
All right, D, go ahead.
For me, I got to roll with Beto on this one, man. It's the number one thing is the offense needs to score points. 13 ain't going to cut it. Not against the Dolphins. I don't care what nobody says. You know what I'm saying? Silent Night Visuals, thank you for joining the stream. Hey, man, rep your squad. You know what I'm saying? That's what we all about here. So you got to score points. 13 is not going to cut it, and I'm sorry, but Jimmy, under 240 this game ain't going to cut it either. If the defense, my number one thing for this game is to watch for resiliency from Mr. Garoppolo. Here's my thing, and this is why I've never been so high on Jimmy. I tell everybody I stay in the middle. I don't go too high, don't go too low. It's real simple. If our defense has a bad game one day, hey, man, look, we just getting our ass handed to us. Can you dig us out of the hole? And we go to the sidelines and say, we didn't carry Joe ass all fucking season. We're tired. It's hard. It's raining. Can you dig us out of this hole? Can you be the guy that everybody gives you credit for being, which we know you're really not? Can you be that dude? Can you give us that extra bump? Can you look and go, oh, shit, I'm looking over here. The CMC's over there. Boom, touchdown. You see what I'm saying? That's what I need. I need to see the resiliency of Jimmy Garoppolo with this offense if he's going to have a shootout with Mr. Tagovailoa. The other thing for me on defense, I have nothing. Ball the fuck out. Go out there and do exactly what you've been doing. Nothing you have been doing hasn't been working. Once again, Steelers had a blueprint. And I forget who the other team was that held them to a really low score. There's two teams that have had a blueprint on how to slow them down. Watch those games. Understand how these things work. Yes, Tommy is correct. The rain will slow the Fins offense down. The only difference is if you're in the rain, ball's very slippery. Pause. You got to be very mindful of that. You get that motherfucker punched out, and it is what it is, man. But I think on the defense, continue the ball, do what you're supposed to do what you need to do. The push that we have with Eric Armstead back up in the middle will be great. And the other simple thing, man, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Do this like an old school fucking house party back in the day when rap first started. What was the simplest thing that they said? Bashar, you know this. Beto, you know that. All of y'all know this. Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. That's all we want you to do, defensive line. If you don't get to it, put your hands up. Eric Armstead, you are 6 foot motherfucking 7, and your wingspan is, if not as big as BA's, it's probably longer.
Manu Ball.
Big ass arms up in the goddamn air. That's all you need to do. If you don't do that, why do you think J.J. Watt got the nickname J.J. SWAT? Because he realized I didn't get home. It's that simple.
Do that one more time.
No, hell no.
He's got the same wingspan.
Hey, Deon, you're safe. Joey ain't here.
Putting hands up in the air.
Joey ain't here.
No, I don't need Joey to be here. You think Brandon ain't smart? That motherfucker over there waiting and ready. I don't doubt nobody's intelligence.
Let me.
Real quick question for Deon about putting your hands up in the air, bro. I think Drake Jackson is starting to do that very well.
Yes.
And that's going to be one of his great assets.
He's
in my opinion.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Jeremy Fowler just reported that Deebo Samuel will likely be a game time decision.
Yeah, he is. Because Kyle said in the press conference that he had to show him something in practice before he says, yes, you can go. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I feel like if Deebo is Deebo's choice, he'll probably play. He's
of course.
Normally pretty fucking tough. So
if there's one thing you have to do is you got to stop these players from hurting their goddamn self. These motherfuckers go out there with one arm, one leg, one eyeball, and half a brain. If you let them, George Kittle, Kittle will play with. You could tell George Kittle, hey man, you know your ankle is broken, you can't play.
Yeah,
that's all right. Just put some tape on it, George.
Put some Vicks.
Broke your fucking ankle. You can't play. That's all right, man. Just put some tape on it. I'll play through the pain. Give me a cortisone shot in that joint. We'll be all right. Like these players really are very serious about staying on that field. But I'm gonna kick it over to you, Christian. Go ahead and answer the age-old question of what we need.
So, what I'm worried about with the defense is I would just say the passing defense in general, and referred into the the DBs. I worry about the way that we play our defense doesn't match up well against the Dolphins because the Dolphins are all speed, and playing zone defense against speed is fucking a disaster waiting to happen. When you play speed, you got to play bump and run. You got to freaking hit them speedy guys in the chest hard when they come off the line and mess up their timing and mess up the timing between them and their quarterback. So I worry because we do play so much zone with these speed guys. It's just a freaking blown coverage, big gain waiting to happen. So that's my biggest thing I worry about it for the defense. And if we see it too, like I'm hoping if we see zone and we start getting blown up, we start moving to man. But I would like to see some more man coverage in this game because I'm so worried about playing that speed. And then offensively, what I'm worried about is not being able to establish a run game and making Jimmy have to drop back and throw the ball too much because when the more Jimmy has to throw, the better chance he has to making a stupid decision and screwing us late in the game with an interception or something. The less Jimmy has to throw, the better I feel. So if we can't establish the run game, then I'm really worried about putting up a lot of points and it being a close game because of that. So those are my two biggest things: the zone defense and the run game.
This year.
Hey man, let me just stop real quick for just a second, y'all. You got 37 people in here, man. That's fucking awesome right there. That's awesome. I see that ticker says 37. And yeah, Silent Night Visuals. Very, very good point. Your O-line is beat up. So if we can just beat that O-line up some more and just knock them around, it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be a good game. Tua's blind side is on his right because he's lefty. So he sees everything coming from that side. But yeah, man, it's definitely going to be, if he has time, he can complete passes, but our key is not to give him time. And the beauty of this defense is D'Amico blitzes every now and then. See, Salah was like,
hey, Hufanga,
but what I'm saying is he at least does it at some point. Whereas when it came to Salah didn't like to blitz.
Salah didn't have to be fair. Salah did not have Talanoa Hufanga, and that motherfucker is the best blitzing safety in the league. You can't tell me.
He had Jimmy Ward and he had K'Wan Williams. So
true, but none of those guys have that jump off the line that Hufanga.
They don't anywhere close. K'Wan Williams was a monster.
That's what I'm saying.
If you set the Shark on the blitz,
that's fair. That's fair. The Shark was a good.
The Shark was good on the blitz,
but also it's a lot safer. It's a lot safer to blitz with a safety than a freaking small nickel back corner.
It is.
A nickel corner versus a big safety who hits hard. Like nobody has the jump off the line like Hufanga does in safeties wise. Not even close. When we blitz him, dude, he is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, his jump off the line is nasty. I agree with you there.
It's insane. Like he literally just got some props from Tua. Tua mentioned watching Polamalu growing up and talked about Hufanga.
Well, that's his people, man. You got to remember that's the Polynesian culture.
Exactly, dude. But like Hufanga, if that's why our blitzing's been so good is when we send him, it normally tends to work.
Yeah,
Brandon, you go ahead real quick, and then we'll answer this question because this is a really good question. You tell us your thoughts.
After that, I got something I want to add.
Yeah.
Okay. Offense. I think my only worry about the offense is really the red zone when we're in the red zone because we are horrible, especially to a sorry ass team last week. I mean, I'm not saying the Saints defense. I'll give it to them. They're freaking phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie. But the offense, on the other hand. But I think we really need to pull through when we're in the red zone, especially in tomorrow's game, because we do not want to be behind like 14 or more points against the Dolphins. So that's my thing. Defense, I think I'm gonna say Lenore as well. And also him with the flags that he's been getting lately too. I'm kind of worried about. So it just needs to clean up his act on that part, and I think we should be okay.
So,
But yeah,
so to Brandon's point about the red zone, I agree. And then to answer this question about Mason's touches,
Mhm.
it's hard to expect Mason to get any because Kyle's a fucking idiot most of the time with
Thanks,
what
Ellen.
running backs he plays. Which then goes back to the fucking red zone. And Mason being a fucking powerful guy who can fucking run in between the tackles and knock people the fuck out of the way and over would help, I would say, help us in the red zone. But the fact of whether or not he's even going to get the touches is the question. So, like, he gets the touches, I feel actually better about our red zone offense because when we get inside the 10 to 5 yard line, that guy's gonna push people out of the way. He's big and runs heavy, runs hard. We haven't had that. We haven't had that with this offense ever with Kyle. So, I would like to see that, but it's Kyle, and we're all gonna be like, oh yeah, we're gonna see Mason, and then we're not gonna see Mason get 1 or 2 touches, maybe, and then we're all gonna be like, what the fuck? So guys, don't get your fucking hopes up. Mason's gonna see the fucking ball. Let me just tell you that now.
I have to agree with Christian to an extent. Here's the thing. Kyle actually acknowledged him when he was asked about him in the press conference.
Okay.
He actually acknowledged what he was doing. So here's the thing. This is real simple. This is what I want to happen. Kyle, do what you did before. You used to rotate through your backs until you figured out who had the hot hand, and you hung with that person. Kyle dresses 3 backs. He never dresses less than 3. He always has to have 3 active running backs on the roster at all times, every game. Don't believe me? Go look it up. It always happens. Mason lucked out because he carried us through the end of the game because CMC wasn't feeling right. And Mitchell had already went down. So it makes sense. Me personally, I say rotate till you find the guy with the hot hand. Let that guy do everything. If you need a dude that's going to be the pass catcher or your third down back, make that CMC. You know he's good. And when he gets the ball in his hand, he's great at making people miss. But when you need a banger and you're going up the gut, give the ball to TDP or Jordan Mason. CMC ain't got no business in the middle of the goddamn field. It's not to say that he can't do it, but it ain't his strong suit.
He's more important to other aspects of the offense.
Yeah. At the end of the day, what is our offense? Stretch zone. What does stretch zone mean? Outside, left or right, counter plays. That's what we do. We get you going one way, and then we go the whole opposite direction.
I love McCaffrey on some counter plays, which I don't think we've seen enough. We only see stretch plays. I want to see some. I like the idea of some counter plays.
Yeah, but if you're asking me how many touches Mason will get, I'm going to say I give him about 10 to 15.
I like.
I hope you're right.
If he makes the best of those, that's going to bode well for him going forward. It will open the door because we all know. Look, Christian ain't lying, people. Kyle is very stubborn about what he does and doesn't like to do. And to me, I ain't going to front you. I'm not going to lie. If I was Anthony Lynn and Bobby Turner, I'd be rotating Mason's ass in and out if I fucking felt like it. You know why? Because you have no goddamn choice. He's already on the fucking field. What, you going to burn 3 timeouts because you don't like the fact that he's on the field? No, you can't. So every now and then, just to be able to get that dude, a little bit of PT, you have to go ahead and sometimes just sub dudes in and say, hey, don't fuck this up. This is your opportunity. I'm going to put you in, and I know he's not going to like it. I'll deal with that later. You let me deal with that. But you go out here on the field. But before you get back into it, Christian, let's get some rest from the panel because I done ran my mouth a little too long. Okay. Beto, what you got on how many touches will Mason get?
Hold on. We gotta hear from media for our last question. He didn't get a chance to go.
Oh, he does.
Damn, media. Come on, let's go.
We gotta get him.
Gotta speak up, media. Say something, goddammit.
What was the question again? Sorry.
I think he did answer the last question.
Yeah, I answered the one.
I
said that on offense. I was saying that the red zone, and then needs to get into
I thought
the
he didn't
zone,
go.
and then I said on defense, Lenore.
So the next question was
my bad. I thought he didn't go.
How many touches does Mason get?
So the question about Mason, I like him a lot. I think he's like a lot like Marshawn Lynch. I love that he's rocking that 24. I listen. He had 5 yards per carry, same as Elijah Mitchell against the Saints. But I agree with Deon too. Unfortunately, Kyle Shanahan is very stubborn, even for his own good. He just stuck in his ways. And but the fact that they did not bring Tevin Coleman from the practice squad just reassures me that they are going to play a lot more of Mason.
Mhm.
I would have been more worried if he would have came off that practice squad. Mason would not be getting that many snaps. But right, don't run Christian McCaffrey down the middle. Run your big boy. It's a big boy,
exactly.
and see him in the outside zone. That's what he plays best. So hopefully Mason has a good game. I think this might be his breakout game.
So I want to add this really quick.
Yeah.
So I'll bring up a couple of things. So right now they officially listed. It doesn't surprise me because TDP was always ahead of Mason. So TDP's running back number 2, Mason's number 3, and the reason why Mason was activated in other games over TDP is because TDP is a special team guy, Mason's a special team guy. TDP doesn't play special teams; he's not good at it. But running wise, they do have him ahead of Sermon. Sorry, Mason. I got Sermon's name mixed. I read the Sermon tweet. Another thing really quick, as far as the red zone goes, that was a great thing by Anshul. Miami's defense sucks in the red zone in terms of giving up touchdowns, like third to last. So we should be able to score touchdowns on them in the red zone. We shouldn't have any excuse. And we were talking about injured players really, really quick. There's that new thing coming around that Kyle Shanahan's saying Kinlaw might be back soon, but just throwing it out there because a lot of us wrote him off. So who knows? We might actually see him.
Yeah. All right. So just real quick, our guy Christian's leaving. He has some stuff to do, but let them know where they can find you at on Twitter.
Lefty 1680. Guys, I don't tweet that much, but you can find me there. I try to tweet. I've been trying to tweet some more and get more involved, but I'm working on it. I was tweeting last night for the Utes game, but
yeah.
And no one gives a fuck about them.
Back to back Pac-12 chants, baby. Let's fucking go.
Yeah. Take him out of the screen already. Don't want to see that shit.
What happened, Trojans? What happened? Huh? What happened, Trojans?
University of Utah happened.
There you go.
No Heisman, no fucking playoff. So fuck the Trojans.
I was waiting for you to drop an F-bomb.
Exactly.
All right.
Go Clemson.
All right, later, guys.
All right. See you later, Christian.
Bye.
Later, Christian.
See ya.
All right. So we're gonna be ending this pretty soon here. But just real fast. Oh, dude, that's way better. Okay.
Nah, man, we ain't in the shit. We got 36 people in here, man. We better.
We gotta get up.
All right,
we going, bro. Come on.
Hey, so this is my next thing. So, it just popped up on my Twitter feed, and
I never got to answer how much I think Mason's.
Yes, go.
Go ahead. You go first, and I'll
look
bring
at
it up after.
So I don't know, cause you guys are mentioning, Kyle Shanahan, definitely question marking him because I really don't know, and I want to see TDP like so badly, like I want to really see what this kid can do. So if they can do a 1-2 punch, maybe with TDP and Mason. Because I know CMC is good to go, but he still might be a little beat up, So I'm gonna say probably Mason. I could see him getting 10 carries.
Okay, I like it, man. Nah, we ain't going nowhere, man. I'm just gonna say this really quick. If you want me to, I'll spit those bars I spit on my show. If not, I don't have to.
We gotta get you a beat.
Do it.
No, I can't see. I would have loved to have used the Get At Me Dog beat, but I don't have time for YouTube to be flagging me and all that bullshit. It's just a lot of crap. It truthfully is. They get real petty about shit, man. And it's like, if we ain't really making no actual money off of you should really truthfully leave us the hell alone. But let me pull this shit up.
Okay. While you do that, I'm gonna show a quick video.
Yes.
Talking about Jawan Jennings, Kyle Shanahan is.
Jawan motherfucking Jennings. Get it right.
Jawan motherfucking Jennings. All right. All right, here we go.
Third and Jawan Jennings.
Kyle, Jawan Jennings, right before halftime, lines up in the left slot, runs that corner route to the left pylon, and the Honey Badger tips the ball up in the air. And what a catch, falling to the ground, gets his butt on the baseline. For a guy who has a bit of a history here and there, a drop in the easy ones, that was a hard catch. Was that one of the better catches he's made in the NFL?
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, just, when the Honey Badger tipped it like that, that's hard to hold your concentration, especially as you're going down on kind of a lob corner throw. But it was a hell of a play by him. He made a number in the game. His 3rd and 1 on the out route where he got a personal foul, the 3rd and 5 at the end of the game that allowed us to run out the clock. My favorite play of his was a run play. I believe it was 2nd and goal on the 6. We got 3 yards on it. But watch him in the slot, what he did to their nickelback.
Chris Harris Jr.
Yeah, straight into the ground. So,
Yeah.
Jawan's an animal out there, and he's been a great player for us this year.
What is it about third down? I mean, is he the primary a lot of times on third down, or does he just uncover because of his ability to beat man coverage on third down? Why is he third and Jawan, as we're dubbing him?
Well, the analytics gave me a stat that out of 100 receivers in the league who have a certain amount of plays on third down, he ranks number 2 in just percentage of being successful. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I told him that yesterday. He goes, "Who's number 1?" And he was all mad about it. I'm like, "That's why you're pretty good." No, but Jawan he's our most consistent separator versus man coverage. He has been in training camp. He has been for the last couple of years. So no, he's not number 1 in everything. We mix it up. A lot of our guys can beat man, but he is the most consistent. So when he is number 1 in his man coverage, he usually wins.
It's funny because I could hear Greg Papa's voice, and I was like, "Who's that voice?" I think, "Who is that?" And then all of a sudden, they show Channing's face.
No, I love it, man. I love when they talk about him. No, listen to me. USC turns out NFL talent every year. We all know and understand this. We just don't like USC. I'm a UCLA guy. Media is an Arizona guy. And as you can see, Christian is a Utah guy. Why the fuck would we like USC? We can still say fuck the school, but thank you for the talent. I appreciate Ronnie Lott.
Yep.
I appreciate Talanoa Hufanga. And thank you for Drake Jackson. But still, this fuck USC forever and a day. That will never change.
What's up, Niner by Nature?
There you go.
Niner
I
by
was
Nature.
that shit from the mountaintops. I will consistently say fuck
Preach
USC.
it, brother. Preach it. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
I was waiting for you to say hallelujah when you told me your little miracle recovery.
Hey, Deon, what you got for us, man?
All right, man. Let me see if I got this shit right. Don't laugh at me. So for y'all that don't know, man, this is DMX's first album. It's his first actual single off the album. It's called Get At Me, Dog. I am not playing that beat to have YouTube up my ass about all the bullshit, but this is just a flip on his first verse. If you listen to X, you'll understand. If you don't, just let me flip the bars and hopefully it works out well enough for you guys. So it says, "What must I go through to show you shit is real? And I ain't really never gave a fuck how Dolphins feel. Forced fumbles and turnovers, not because I want to, because I have to. And don't make me show you what will Mac do. If you don't know by now, then you slipping. Your O-line on some bullshit while Greenline out there hitting. Let Jimmy and the O stay pretty. The defense stay shitty, cruddy. It's all for the money. Is you with me? Get the cheerleaders while Bosa commits the crime. And when it's all, we'll transform like Optimus Prime. D'Amico forms the head rollout. Let's make it hot. If we ain't gonna get it with them, we'll take your cap. Busting off, dusting off these Dolphin figures. Tua got the biggest heart. Yo, let's off this figure. These Dolphin busters never made a sound. Tyreek tried to get beat, and he's getting taken down.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, D, I see you.
Let's go.
That was amazing.
Yeah, so you just hey, ooh, man, yeah, X gonna give it to him. Hey, look, fuck waiting for the Dolphins to get it on their own. The 49ers gonna deliver to them. Knock, knock, open up the door if it's real with the nonstop. You know what I'm saying? You can flip those bars any way you want to, and it can turn into a 49er song real easily because of all of the players we have on defense. I can throw Warner's name. I can throw Al Shire. I can throw Greenlaw in there. You definitely got to throw Huff in there. You can even throw Gip in there. You know what I'm saying? You can have Mooney. it works because it's easy to do. It just takes time to make sure. Plus, I had to make sure I kept some of the bars for what DMX is. Man, God rest his soul. He's such an amazing artist. If you've never listened to DMX, you're missing out on some serious bars. Not gonna lie to you, I had heard Big Pun's radio music, but I hadn't heard his albums. Holy fuck, was I sleeping? Pun has major bars.
Pun's freestyles are excellent. I've heard them.
Oh my God! Like because I like lyricists. Some people like different types. I like a lyricist. I want you to have my mind working, so I'm breaking down the bars as they're being spit. If I'm not breaking down the bars and this, simple 1, 2, 3, 4 sing-songy type shit like your Migos and your Nelly and stuff like that, then it may be a little for me, but that's what Bernie Mac used to like to call, God rest his soul, your happy rap. Whereas then you flip over, you get your Benny the Butchers, the Griselda Boys, you get, your DMXs, you get your Corrupts from the West Coast, you know what I'm saying? Even E40, definitely Cube. You get those types of dudes in there and bars start coming in, you're like, whoa. So yeah, man, that definitely was my own thing, my little spin on that first verse from Get At Me, dog. But
right.
Man, it does look like we all got everything. So just real quick, X Factor on offense. Go ahead, Sickness.
What's that?
X Factor on offense for us, for the 49ers.
I was looking at the comments. X Factor on offense. It's going to be, for me, it's going to have to be Jordan Mason stepping up and getting his touches and getting those hard yards. Hope Kyle really, really uses him in this game and allows him to shine. Real quick, so while Mike McClinchy needs to kind of handle his own, Mike McClinchy can take care of his side against Chubbs, at least for half of the game. I'm good. But it's going to be Mason. Mason for me, bro.
Okay. Media?
I'm going to go with the best tight end, people's tight end.
I knew it.
George Kittle.
I knew it. The way he stopped and held himself, I was like, he going with Kittle. He thinking of the name. It escaped him for just a second, but then he was like, it's Kittle. Go ahead, Bashar.
So you're saying the X factor of the game? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, for us on offense. For offense. Yeah.
Okay, so see the guy right over here on this side right here, Brandon Ayuk, number 11.
Wait,
I want to see him go
off.
No,
this side.
Right behind me.
AKA Mr. Milk Dud. Yeah,
that guy.
Milk Dud.
From Sierra College over in Rockland, right by where I live. That's where we went to school.
Sir. So. Yes, sir.
Well, it was a junior college out there.
There you go.
Arizona State.
ASU. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Not that bullshit Wildcat crap over there, Like
poor Anshul. People keep picking on him today. I feel bad.
Oh, bro, no.
I always get picked on.
Media ain't gonna be sitting there playing no fucking victim because he does shit too. Don't you play the victim?
I never seen him do it. He must have been sneaky about it.
Hey, look, no, media go hard. He's slick about his shit. That's all. I gotta agree with you, Bashar. It's definitely BA for me. I want him to go insane. Like if Debo's not out there, it's all you. Because behind him we have Jennings, we got Ray, and we got Danny. But we all know Danny ain't doing shit because he has one route, a 9 route. And we all know Jimmy ain't getting the ball down there. That shit ain't happening. So it's going to be between him, Ray, and I'll probably use CMC in the backfield. But, BA for me. What you think, Brandon? Who's our X factor on offense?
I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey on this one.
All right. And
CMC.
So for defense, for me, I'm going to start defense off. Mooney. It's Mooney Ward. That's the X factor. Because it doesn't matter whether Waddle is playing on that side or whether Hill is playing on that side. I need Mooney to show me he can lock down those top-tier dudes, even the guys with speed. I need to see it. Even if you got some little help over the top, little bracket coverage, whatever you got, I need to see that he can do that. Let's go back to you, Brandon. What you think on defense? Who's that guy?
So just real quick, after we're done with the X Factor, I got something real fast to show.
Cool.
And I want to talk about it afterwards before we end the show. All right. So defense on the X Factor, my boy, 9'7", MB, the Bear. Big Bosa. I think he's gonna have like 2-3 sacks tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Bet
He's due for a big sack game. He hasn't had one yet.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
For me, it's going to be Gibson. I want him to have an interception.
He's been tipping them all towards Huff. Poor guy. He's been helping Huff out the whole season.
He sure has, man. So
he really has.
He really has. I think he ever get 2 out of his 4. He has.
Yes. So let's go Gibson, man. That's my X factor.
All right. Randy says Fred. Ooh, Andy says Drizzy Drake Jackson. I like it.
Oh, I like that.
Media, what you got, man? Who's that?
Give me number 91, double A, Eric Armstead, baby.
Okay, he said in his return, havoc on the all line. I like it. Bashar, who is that guy on defense? He looks even Bashar even had the little chin scratch where he was like, I'm thinking.
I was thinking because I was pulling something up as a reference. Brandon brought up a very good point. It looks like it has to be Bosa, man. It looks like Bosa has to have his day, especially if Teron Armstead is going to be out, possibly, or at least playing hurt, and Austin Jackson's going to be out. They'll move Bosa around to the other side if they have to, for a better, easier matchup for him. So, yeah, man, Brandon hit it right on the head, man. I think that's the guy that we need, one of those Alden Smith multiple sack type games from Bosa, which we haven't seen yet. He gets a sack every game pretty much. Mm-hmm. I want to see that big game where he gets them in clusters, you know.
Bosa is due to give us a 3 or 4 sack game. X Factor is Juwan motherfucking Jennings. I love that. I'd love for him to be the X Factor. He is an amazing, amazing talent. Yes, and I like what I heard in that video that made me say, this is why I love this guy, is his instant reaction was, who's number 1? And why are they number 1? How do I get past this person? How can I beat them? Your competitive edge in a game definitely comes from within. You have to feel like you're better than any and everybody. I'm going to tell you right now, when I ran track, I didn't always think I could beat everybody. But I for damn sure didn't let those motherfuckers know it. I guarantee you that much. I did not. I didn't let anybody else know that. Heck, if anything, I was trying to tell you why I was going to beat you. How slow you were. How stupid you looked. Why your shorts that short? Like all kinds of stuff, man. I was Dennis Rodman at that line before we got on that track field. I was in your head. And hell, I even told one dude after the meet I was gonna get his mama's number. He literally was he was in the top 10 for fastest people in the state. And I wound up actually edging him out by 0.3 of a second, all based off of that one comment. And he looked at me and he was like, man, I hate you, bro. And I was like, why? He was like, bro, you fucked me up, man. That shit you said about my mom's, bro. I was like, what? I was like, look, I just said that to get the edge and I won, but I'm not going to lie. Your mama is fine. So,
oh my gosh.
And he just looked at me. He was like, man, get out of my face. I was that asshole in high school, bro. I really was.
Yeah, I can't picture you being like this, Deon. You let me down.
Hey, man, I was young and I was too smooth. Oh, shit, man.
Young and full of cum.
I want to add one more thing I left out in terms of Brandon mentioning Bosa and how he has to have a big game. How I'm saying I want to see that huge game from when Teron Armstead went down in the Texans game in their previous game. The Miami Dolphins O-line all of a sudden gave up like 4 sacks. So and they've been really good at not picking up many sacks this year. So we'll see, man. We'll see what happens.
Didn't the Texans stop them the whole second half? They didn't score, Miami.
Oh yeah. They went through and broke them off, man. They did a good job. That I can tell you right now, man. Houston, that may be a home for Mr. Garoppolo.
Yeah,
you may see him there next year.
He can go now.
No, he can't go nowhere right now.
Not right now.
You got to put Purdy on the field. No, I'm sorry.
No.
I ain't.
Okay, so after January then.
All right,
yes.
so.
No, after February.
After February.
Yes. In February.
Yeah, even better.
But we all know. Well, actually, you know what? No, I'm not gonna lie. I gotta agree with Beto. After January, he can leave because you know he don't do shit in the fucking playoffs anyway.
Yep.
Well, we have CMC in the backfield now, so I think as long as we get rely on our running backs, I think we should be okay.
Hey, and he could throw touchdowns. We saw it earlier this season, so why not have him run the Wildcat? To toss. There it is. But what you got over there, Brandon?
All right, so I know we talked about it a little bit on the last show, but later on in the week, Mr. Maserati himself went back on his word.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it. So I'm going to play the clip real quick because he said it on KMBR earlier this week. And see what you guys think about how he went back on his words. So let's go ahead and check it out.
Your quote was, "We have way better talent here. It's going to get spooky." And then later you're talking about Tua. The quote is, "We have a quarterback who can actually sling it." So I know you tried to walk back some of these comments. Steve-O shouted you out on social media. Would you like to explain these quotes?
Yeah, absolutely. So the initial report was specifically talking about Tua and his success. And so when I was being asked those questions, I was looking at it as a view of what Tua has done and what Tua has dealt with in the past. In regards to we have more talent here, I was speaking in terms of, we have more talent here right now at this moment than what has been here in the past. And I can see how that can get misconstrued just because, like you said, you can only take certain snippets out of what one person said and alter it in a way that, it just seems like it's not relevant or it's relevant in the fact that I'm on a different team. No, that's not what I meant. Because I know that, I was with the Niners for several years and I know exactly what the talent is. There's unbelievable talent on both sides of the ball and even on special teams. So I wasn't trying to take shots or digs on anyone. And then in regards to, Tua being accurate, that was a statement that was made, early on with Tyreek and, me going through the process. I've been seeing that. And that's why I said he can actually sling it. I don't know why people are doubting him and his ability. Not the fact that, Jimmy G can't sling the rock or anything like that. I would never, ever in a million years talk down on a player, specifically a guy like Jimmy, just because we've grown together, all those years when I was there. My family, his family, is his family. His family is like my family. I've been to his brother's wedding. His sister-in-law and my wife, Devin, are like the best of friends. And my wife can't wait to be in San Francisco to meet up with her this weekend. So, all those things, man, is just people just don't understand I understand the severity of the message, but it wasn't directed towards any one specific person or any group of people. It was specifically on the past and the present of what Tua's success and his failures have had, prior to us being together.
All right. So let's get your guys' thoughts on that. Beto, let's go ahead and get your thoughts first.
He's full of shit, bro. He's just retracting something he said that when Debo responded and it got blown out more than what he thought it would. I can't imagine you make those comments and it's not going to get to the Niners players. I'm a firm believer. Once you say something, it comes from the heart and you meant it. And then everything else, you're trying to retract it backwards. It's not the same. I believe that what he said the first time he meant it, he was talking trash about Jimmy. Now, is he wrong? No. Jimmy can't go throw long. But at the same time, Joe, he just going to play over there. He's not even playing on Sunday. So if I was Jim Wilson Jr., I would be slapping the crap out of Raheem. Stop pissing off Fred Warner because I'm the one that's going to be running the ball, not you. But yeah, Raheem Moore, just shut up, bro. I wonder now I know why your wife gets insulted on social media because you have a big mouth.
Wow, that was hard.
Damn. All right. Media, how do you follow that up?
Oh man, I don't know if there's much I can say after that. But Raheem, keep talking because when you're going on the field, you ain't going nowhere. You're going backwards into a wall.
All right. Bashar?
Not okay, Aaron number 2.
Why you call Aaron number 2? Okay.
Who made the mistake?
You Beto.
Oh, he did.
Made the mistake.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna do the Spanish stuff right now, or if you want me to.
Do it.
Welcome. Hola, amigos. ¿Cómo están? Yo soy Niner Sickness. Welcome. This is Beto, otherwise known as Niner Sickness. I'm here on the Forever Faithful podcast with Puto Brandon. Just kidding.
No mames.
I love it.
Ay,
I'm moving
cabrón.
every second of it. Let's go.
Cabrón. No
Brandon's my boy,
mames.
dude. He's
You
like
gotta
a little-
finish it with, is that
Brandon-
unleaded or unleaded or super?
Brandon's like a little brother to me. Let me just say this. I'm gonna put it right in the chat. Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys know something. I appreciate what Mostert did for us, but right now it's not Mostert. It's Most Hurt. Raheem Most Hurt can say whatever he wants. I don't care what he says about his quarterback, our quarterback, what his team is gonna do, and how much more talented his team is now compared to what was before. Whether he spent it or not, I don't care. He's still Raheem Most Hurt. And if he goes up against a number one run defense, he's going to get hurt. So, he can say whatever he wants. This is the best defense he's faced all year.
Deon.
So for me, it's simple. It came to stuff about Jimmy. Like, I don't give a fuck that he talks shit about Jimmy. We all know it's very simple. Jimmy lives over the middle. He doesn't throw outside of the numbers, and he doesn't throw the deep ball. Yep. So can he sling it? No. So I don't know why everybody was all up in arms about that comment. That's the truth. Yep. That's really unfortunate. The injury thing was what threw me off. And the reason being is because you shut yourself down for the year. You had the option to not do surgery to avoid that, to go ahead and take some time off. So
don't forget the COVID year.
Yeah, and the COVID year. So, and I look, the COVID year, I respect anybody who decided to opt out strictly based on the fact that they wanted to worry about the health and safety of their family. He had 2 young boys that he had to be protective of. Yep. And, that it's a lot to deal with, man. So I get it. I understand it. But as far as you shutting yourself down, don't blame us because you shut yourself down. You did that. You made that decision. So if you made that decision, then how are we rushing you back? I mean, now, did you shut yourself down because you felt like we were trying to rush you back and that was the only way we were going to stop asking? Well, I mean, hey, it is what it is. You're a starting running back in the NFL. It's like Julian Edelman said on I Am Athlete. Everybody's playing hurt every week. Something hurts. You are in some type of pain. I don't care how much treatment you do. I don't care if you go vegan. I don't care about none of that. At the end of the day, you are banging your body against turf, grass, and or another human. That shit hurts. Believe me, when I was younger, I loved the contact of football. Now, I don't want nobody hit me, goddammit. I ain't got time for that. I'm too old. I don't want, man, that shit gonna hurt. Yep. And as you get older, the hurt lasts longer. See, when you're young, that pain will subside very quickly. It truthfully does. But when you older, man, that shit lasts forever. See, almost seemed like the recovery process is a bitch. But for me personally, talk your shit, man. At the end of the day, just remember, you got to back it up. Because if you don't, you're going to look real stupid. But, I mean, I appreciate what he did for us. We can't. I mean, when they say they have a QB that can sling it, yeah, Tua has a good arm. Good arm. Nice deep ball. But, at the end of the day, it's a simple situation.
Yep.
I'm not going to be mad at him for saying what he said about Jimmy, because at the end of the day, there are just certain things about the guy that are lackluster. But as far as the whole, we tried to rush you back, you shut yourself down for the season, man. So it makes it hard for me to believe that. I'm not saying that isn't true because I wasn't there. I did not, I wasn't there when the situation unfolded. And it's not outside the realm of possibilities that an NFL team will try to rush you back. Yeah. That is very highly likely. Because especially if they need you. And we were leaning on Raheem to be the number one guy. But outside of all of those things I just named, you did try to stick us up for money to an extent.
Yeah.
So don't be mad because you kind of stuck us up a little bit and we was like, all right, you want more money? Get your ass on that field. Yeah. If that's how that played out, don't be mad at them. They gave you a little extra bread. They said, all right, cool, you did it. Get on the field. You can't be mad at us, but it kind of is what it is, man. That's just my thoughts.
And don't forget, we actually put Raheem on radar too.
Yes, because there was nobody else. Raheem let's run through his story real quick. Raheem went through what, 8 different teams?
Mm-hmm.
8 different teams on special teams.
Yep.
He was a running back on every single team, but he was on special teams. It wasn't until he got to us where he got his start. So the difference between Raheem is Raheem may have said like a few things, but I'm not going to consider his comments egregious. And I don't think he really had any ill intent. You know, if he was being asked questions about the actual Dolphins and what they have, then yes, it's real easy to get that twisted and misconstrued.
Yeah.
Very, very much so. And do reporters do the hell yeah? The media loves clickbait. What the fuck you think?
Yep.
They out here purposely do get you to click on that article because that helps them. The more attractive, the more attention they can bring to themselves, the better for them. I understand it. But we did give him his start. So, while he said those things, at least he wasn't as disrespectful as that piece of shit, Jerick McKinnon. And because I don't like you. And if I ever meet you, I'll punch you in the fucking face with your Kermit the Frog ass voice. Ungrateful bastard. I don't like you.
Yep.
Coming out there, had a nerve to get on IG Live and say, fuck no, on to the next. We lined your pockets and fed your family. Like
he ain't shit
on IR.
And you didn't earn a penny of that fucking paycheck. The only time you showed up was in the COVID year. The perfect time for you to show up when everybody else is fucking injured. Good job, dumbass. Sorry.
Exactly.
It's
all good. It's all good. So just real fast. Let's go ahead and we're gonna end the show right now. We've been going an hour and a half, so that's pretty good with 34 people right now. So everybody that's been hanging out with us, man, we appreciate y'all, bro. We appreciate it a lot.
Appreciate you guys.
We appreciate it. And if Saturdays is a thing and we got to keep this panel together,
you might have to, man.
I'm all right with that, man, because I love everybody on the panel, man. Everybody is good, man. I love Bashar, Beto, media, even though he's a fucking Wildcat fan.
I know you don't. I know.
Look, bro, I got love for you, okay? If somebody was trying to beat you up, I jump in and help.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Now, if you had on a Wildcat shirt, I'm not sure how quickly I would jump in. I'm just saying it might take a little time because I have to make sure I rub my eyes so I can see from that bullshit you got on.
Media, it's because you're a milk dud, man.
You know what's funny though? Your ASU team sucks at basketball, and they also suck at football, just like us. So
they do. I just root for ASU just to piss you off, man. I don't really fuck with them. I'm a UCLA guy.
Lakers, baby. That's all I know. Lakers are winning again.
So
Lakers, no. Fucking
they beat the Bucks. They're winning again.
Brandon, get his ass. Brandon, you better get it. Don't you let him come on here and talk about them damn fakers.
Lakers and Tigers, baby.
Hey, all I gotta say is
no mames.
Exactly. Okay, so before we end it, if you guys haven't yet already, I know we have my channel on here, we have Bashar's channel on here, we have Media's channel on here, and we have Deon's channel on here. We would have had Beto's channel on here, but he doesn't want to give his.
I don't trust Mexicans, bro.
What if they're half Sicilian?
No mames, mijo.
Hey, look, man,
Brandon, bro.
Look, Beto, I'm gonna tell you. I'm an equal opportunity racist. I hate everybody.
Yeah, there you go.
That makes see that way nobody can be mad because I don't like nobody. I have to fuck with you and talk with you and have a conversation, and that will determine. I'm not gonna even use you. I just look, if I don't fucking know you, I really don't care for you. I'm not gonna say nothing negative, but at the end of the day, I'm
with you, bro. I'm with you. I'm 100% with you there.
See, I like old school comedy.
Yep.
Where you can talk shit about everything and everybody and nobody cried, and we live in a society today where
we have all the Dante Perez's.
You offended me. Oh my god.
You do that so well.
You can't do a comedy show.
You skip me.
I like it when Beto cries.
All right, so before we head out, guys, if you haven't yet already, hit that like and subscribe button on Prayer Faithful Podcast. It's www.youtube.com/prayer.
Can you say it in Spanish?
Huh?
He said, "Can you say it in Spanish?" He fucking with you. You know you can't say it in Spanish.
No, I can't say it in Spanish. I only know all the bad words. You already know this, Beto. Okay. Okay. So, anyways, yeah, we're trying to get to 500 subs on the Forever Faithful podcast channel.
Let's
Once
go.
we do that, we're gonna do a giveaway. And then, gentlemen, let everybody else know where they can find you. Before I do that, go ahead and you see on the bottom here on our layout, it at FF Pod on Twitter, and we're in Forever Faithful Podcast on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. So go ahead and hit that follow button. But gentlemen, go ahead and share where they can find you at.
Simple, Not a Gang Podcast on YouTube, at Swift D on Twitter, 49er_Deon on Instagram. Kick it over to Bashar. Tell them what to find 49er Minded.
Actually, the guy who did the 49er Reminder rap, 49er Dude, messaged me the other day and showed me a picture of some tailgate at one of the upcoming games. And he's like, "Oh, I'm going to perform the 49er Minded song live."
Hey, there you go.
He said someone's going to record it. So when I have it available, I'll show it to you guys.
Turn up.
And I don't know if we're doing score predictions because I'll drop mine right now if so.
Yeah, go ahead.
28-17. I just think our defense just has them, mesmerized, and we end up finally scoring in the red zone and doing what we have to do with all these weapons. But yeah, easy to find me at 49er Minded on Twitter. Just type in 49er Minded on Instagram. If some people are probably watching the 49er Minded YouTube channel. But yeah, man, just hit me up. And if you guys have any questions, you guys always send me a DM.
Media.
Alrighty, guys. You guys can find me at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at 49er Media, all the same handle. We just hit 420 subs on YouTube, so appreciate that.
Yeah.
Continuing our road. Make sure if you haven't hit that sub button, make sure you guys follow the rest of the social medias as well.
I hit 700.
Yeah, guys. You guys can actually find me on YouTube, Twitter, IG, and TikTok, all under Niner Sickness Podcast. And once I hit 1,500 subscribers, I'm giving away this beautiful
Debo Samuel jersey.
Nice.
Oh, black.
So I'm going to be giving that away at 1,500, and I'm not that far away. So come in, subscribe, and just show me a picture. It's only for new subscribers. A lot of my old guys are like, I'll take care of them as well. But find me on YouTube and all the platforms under Niner Sickness Podcast. I welcome you there.
So we got some predictions: 38-37 from Joey.
For me, the prediction in this game is going to be 24-17 Niners.
For me, I'm going to have to unfortunately go with the L on this one. I don't believe we win this game. I'm going to say probably about 28-25 Niners. 28-25 Dolphins.
What?
Don't think we're going to pull this W off, guys. I got a lot of faith, but I got to see it to believe it, man. I don't know. Something about this game kind of scares me. Brandon,
what's your prediction?
So I'm gonna go with 31-28 Niners on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, and fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, also too, if you guys if you guys are in the car, you're stuck in traffic or whatever, go ahead and head over to our audio podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, all the podcasts that you can find for our Faithful Podcast. We're on there too as well.
There it is.
Any other last statements before we head out?
Nah, man. Just everybody out there, stay up, stay faithful, and at the end of the day, the mantra: go Niners.
Yes, sir. All right, guys.
Look at us coming. Gotta go.
All right, till next time, guys. Go Niners.
Go Niners.
Let's go.
Later, guys.